Hello and welcome back to another episode of Clark and Addison, Born into the Ivy. We're your hosts, David and Eli, and we're here to talk about more things Cubs and break down Michael Busch, Matt Shaw, Phil Maton, Luke Little, and Justin Steele, and talk about our expectations for the season. First, though, we're going to talk about Cubs have announced their opening day starter, Matthew Boyd. That's what I was hoping for. I think that's what you were hoping for ultimately too, right?
I was leaning towards Cade Horton,
Kate? All right.
but either way, I was fine with it.
Yeah, same. I wouldn't have been upset about Cade at all. I just think it sets up Cade a
Right.
little bit better. You know what I mean? Ultimately.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be interested to see who's number two, whether it's Cade or Cabrera. I would guess Cade and then Cabrera. That would be my guess. You?
Yeah, probably. I wouldn't be surprised if Cabrera went before, though.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, much like the opening day thing, I wouldn't be shocked either way, and I really wouldn't have a
Mm-hmm.
problem either way either. I just think that this is probably the going Cade to. I don't have a problem with it, but and that's what I would think. Bruce Levine reported that the Cubs gave Boyd an option to start opening day or continue with the WBC and start further down in the rotation. He told me he expressed his gratitude to Counsell, Hoyer, and Hawkins for the great support. Matthew Boyd has never started an opening day, I believe. And so this is really exciting for the guy.
Mm-hmm.
He seems like such a nice guy. I've heard many reporters talk about him saying that he's one of the nicest people in baseball. So it's really cool that the production is coming along for him as well, and he's getting this opportunity. He's set up in a good spot against Cade Cavelli as well, on paper at least, with the Nationals. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So I'm gonna get
because
off
he
topic.
hasn't. I mean,
Go ahead. Go
huh?
ahead. Go ahead.
No, go for it.
I was gonna say I'm gonna get off topic real quick for this. The Cubs' first 6 games are against the Nationals and the Angels. What would you think is a disappointing record coming out of those two series?
Disappointing.
Yeah, like if the Cubs went two and I
Right.
mean obviously two
Uh,
and four would really suck, but if they split, that's probably disappointing, right?
yeah, because they're both. Yeah. Yeah, probably. Um,
So they would need to at least be 4-2.
yeah, I'd say so.
Do you
For
think
me to
that?
be happy.
Do you
But I
think
think the worst she could be 2-4.
at worst? Yeah, I mean I would be pretty unhappy if they
Mm,
started 2-4 against
right.
those two teams because they just, at least on paper, they're not set up to really compete. You know what I mean? I'm
Hmm.
hopeful that it's going to be 5-1, and I wouldn't be shocked by that. I would be a bit shocked if they
I
started
wouldn't either.
6-0, but
Hmm.
even at home in the weather, you would expect it's going to be cold still, at least part of that time. You know what I mean? So I think it would be 5-1 would be absolutely amazing to me. But I'm really excited for Boyd. I thought that was awesome that he was announced. You were the one who broke it to me when you sent that to me on Instagram. So
Yeah.
I hadn't seen it yet.
I think it was the next, in the morning.
Yeah, after we talked, it was yesterday morning, right?
Yeah. Yesterday morning I saw it. It was posted like 30 minutes ago. And I sent it to you.
Nice, nice, pretty exciting. Matthew, or not Matthew Boyd, we were just talking about Michael Busch. What are your expectations for Michael Busch this season, Eli?
I I don't think he'll get, his 30 home run season this year. He might. It might be possible, but I think he's going to be right where he was, honestly. I mean, spring training, he kind of looks that way, but he hasn't gotten a home run yet, though. So, but let's be real. Let's see how many at bats has he had. I know he hasn't had too many.
I don't think he's had a ton of time. I'm not seeing his spring training stats.
Yeah, me neither. 26.
He's hit the ball well, though, I believe, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's batting 269.
Um,
Which
man,
isn't terrible.
I do think he's gonna. I got better expectations or higher expectations for Bush this year.
Mm-hmm.
I think Bush is going to be the offensive MVP of this team. Right
You
there with
think so?
Saya. Yep.
Yeah.
Um, I and I'm gonna predict. Well, no, I don't want to ruin a bold prediction because I want to do a bold prediction episode right before the season starts. But I think Matthew Boyd really, really has a great season. And I think he's going to take another step. Last year, from his rookie year, he took a big step, and I think he takes another big step this season. And I think he is one of the better offensive players in the league this season.
You went back to my Matthew Boyd.
Did it? Michael Busch. Man, why do I keep doing that? I'm sorry, Michael. I'm sorry, Matthew.
Think you get it mixed up with like Matt Shaw or something,
Right?
but
And
MB.
that's who we're going to talk about next. So I'm sure I'll keep saying Matthew Boyd here. But Michael Busch, I really think he's going to have an excellent season this year.
I think so too.
I'm
I'm
really
really excited to
expecting.
see what he does.
Matt Shaw, what do you think? What do you expect from Matt Shaw this season? His role's changed obviously quite a bit. Do you think that's going to affect him
Right, his
offensively?
role has changed, but I don't think it's going to affect him. Offensively, I feel like he's going to do a lot better than he did last year. Kind of like the second half of the season, I think he'll be in that kind of range,
Do you think he'll?
maybe
I
even a
mean,
little bit better.
there's going to be some ebbs and flows, obviously, but
Right.
do you think that he will squash some of those ebbs and make the flows better?
I think so. I feel like he's going to be a lot more consistent. I don't think he'll be in a drought, kind of like he was, in first half of the season when he had to go back down to AAA. I don't think he'll be nearly as bad. I think he's going to be, you know, I honestly think he's going to be better than what he was second half of the season last year.
I think, especially as the first half season of the season went on, he started pressing and thinking about it all too much. I don't think he's going to have a
hmm
chance to think about it as much and overthink because he's going to be having to learn all these other positions and stuff and concentrating on that. And I think that will free up his mind a little bit more and just do the basics. Do the things that got you to the majors. I know that the Cubs are all about pulling the ball and everything, but part of what made Matt Shaw so good and special that brought him up to the majors was he used all the fields. And in the second half, he had done much better about using power on the pull side, but he also was hitting the ball back the other way a lot better with authority, like line drive way. You know what I mean?
hmm
A la Ballesteros, Nico. Shaw's got some similarities as well to that. And the Cubs
Oh
need
yeah.
that. More of a contact guy. He strikes out a little bit more for a line drive hitter, but it's still not terrible. You know what I mean? That was actually one of the on Baseball Savant. His whiff percentage is the only thing that's not blue for the whole season, and his launch angle sweet spot. Those were at
This
60
might
and
this might
63.
shock you a little bit. Guess how many times he's struck out so far this spring training?
I'm guessing not much.
With 30 at bats.
5,
Four.
4. And he
hmm
has looked really good this spring
I think that's actually less than Nico. I think Nico was at five
for the
last time
spring.
we checked, last episode. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not saying Matt Shaw is going to turn into some superstar, but I think Matt Shaw, at the very least, is going to be a very good, productive major league player for a long time. And I'm really glad that they didn't trade him because I think he is part of the future of this team, but also the present. And he's going to play
hmm
a huge, integral part of depth slash hybrid starter on this team that's going to matter greatly. And most championship contender teams need a guy like that. Or to have, like last year, the Cubs didn't have a guy like that, and they got lucky that they had such great health for the majority of the season on the position player side. You know what I mean? Because they didn't have a guy who could step in and do what Matt Shaw can do this year, and they're not going to wait around for him to for somebody to get hurt. They're going to proactively put him around in different spots. Ballesteros is not going to hit against lefties, and when you got a guy like Matt Shaw, he shouldn't be. You know what I mean?
You know who he reminds me of? Not saying he's any close to as good as, he is, but he reminds me a lot of Mookie Betts.
I get what you're saying.
You know, obviously, we're gonna be like, what? Did he just compare Matt Shaw to Mookie Betts? Yes, I did. I did. I think, he doesn't have the. You never know. Actually, he doesn't. I don't think he has the potential to be as good as Mookie Betts, but
You know who I do think he can have a similar path as is Alex Bregman.
okay, yeah, I can see that.
Um, I don't think he's going to have quite like Bregman's peak was really good. I don't know that Shaw will have
Hmm.
that peak, but I think he's just going to be a really good, solid player who's going to have some all stars in there sprinkled in, and just be a really good to really like a good to really good major league player for a long time. I don't know that he's ever going to be great. Maybe he'll have a career year somewhere. Hopefully he will be. I'm not saying he can't be. I'm just my career expectations for him are to be that. And if you can be Alex Bregman, I mean that dude just signed a $175 million contract for 5 years. I don't think Matt Shaw
Hmm.
would complain about that later on. You know what I
No.
mean? I don't know many people who would. So I think Matt's going to be a good key piece to this team this year. The World Baseball Classic, the United States plays in the quarterfinals tonight. Will you be watching?
World Baseball Classics? Probably not. If
Oh,
I'm being
really?
honest with myself. Yeah.
Will you be paying attention though? At least?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll watch it. Like, I'll get the updates on the MLB app. I'll watch this play thing every once in a while. Just when Team USA's up to bat.
I'll have it on my corner TV while Purdue game is still going, and then I'll put it on my main TV. Yes, I have two TVs, and my wife wants to kill me most of the time. But she's awesome. So, um, I'm excited for it. I haven't watched every inning or anything um, of the pool play, but a lot of that was because of the games were on later. I watched as much as I could, so I had to go to bed. So I had to get up. I get up early every morning. I get up at 5:30 most mornings. This past week I got up at 4:30 twice. Um, so you gotta get your sleep too. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But especially now with the it's in the tournament single elimination, no holds bar. I'll be watching these next couple of games for sure. Uh, as long as they keep winning. What are your expectations and thoughts about Phil Maton this season? He is one of the few guys that the Cubs have signed to a uh, multi-year deal out of the bullpen. I was a little surprised when they had done that. Then I went and looked at the guy's numbers,
Hmm.
and I understood why. He's been about as consistent as anybody can be.
Right. Yeah, he looks pretty good. Let's see. He's only allowed one hit in 4 innings. I think he had, what, 3 strikeouts?
He has a few walks too, doesn't
So,
he?
let's see. Three.
3, okay. He's a guy
Not
who's going to
bad.
come in and pitch 65 to 70 times in the season. That would be big for the Cubs. And
Hmm.
most of that will probably be high leverage, I would think. Agreed?
I'd say so. Looking at his stats,
Yeah.
I mean, last year he had a 2.79 ERA. His career is 3.98, which isn't terrible either.
He has a fourth pitch Mitch,
And
which seems. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
last year he had 61 innings pitched and 81 strikeouts. So that's really good as well. So
Yeah.
averaged over one strikeout an inning. I mean, I'll take that.
He doesn't pitch with a ton of velocity. His highest is the cutter at 90.6, but he has a ton of action on his pitches. His curveball is the pitch that he uses the most, which is odd for a right-hander. He uses it 38% of the time, the cutter 36, sweeper 14, and the sinker 12%. Um, and I think the sinker is just kind of more of a different look from the cutter. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Because the velocity is pretty similar between those two for him. He doesn't walk a ton, um, and generates a lot of strikeouts for a guy who only pitches 90% of the time or 90 miles per hour at his peak. That's how much
Mute your
movement the
mic and
guy's got.
unmute it real quick.
Huh?
Mute your mic and unmute it real quick. You're kind of sounding like a robot.
Is that better?
Yep.
Cool. Sorry, man.
Oh, it's all good.
I I think that he's going to be pretty good though for the Cubs this year and for next year. What about Luke Little? He started out pretty good those first couple outings, and then he's kind of not been so. It's up and down,
Yeah.
really. Do you think Luke can be a guy who is up and down, like because he only came up and had one appearance last season, but
Hmm.
in 24 he had quite a few, and he was pretty successful, except at the end of like that time. Do you think he can be in that up and down rotation, along with guys like Ethan Roberts, Riley Martin?
Probably not.
No, I know I'm bigger on Luke than you are. The
Hmm.
velocity is so good with this guy. Um, but he's wild. That's for sure. And
Yeah.
that's the like he generates soft contact. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Most of the time he does. It's just getting him to pitch strikes consistently.
Right.
Especially it seems like in the majors. But even in the minors, like he has moments where he just can't throw a strike and then he can get out of it. Obviously it's easier to get out of that in the minors than it is in the majors. But
Hmm.
I don't know, man. I think that he can be an impact guy if there's an injury to one of the lefties.
I
You know
mean,
what I
he's
mean?
still young. So, I mean,
He
yeah.
is, but I
He's
think that the
young.
Cubs are probably getting close to losing their patience with it.
Probably.
And I think that could be a mistake. Because, like you said, he's still pretty young as well.
Hmm.
We wouldn't be the first guy who blossomed at 28. You know what I mean?
I
I'm
mean,
not
if we can
saying
get him for cheap, though, I'm sure the Cubs will.
I'm not saying he can't
Which,
isn't going to have issues. I just think that he's a guy that I feel like should be in that rotation for coming up and down with Ethan Roberts and Riley Martin and other guys like that. You know what I mean?
hmm, He's a big dude.
He's huge.
6'8".
He's
No way
like,
he weighs 220 pounds, though. There's no way that dude weighs
agreed.
220
I
pounds.
mean, yeah, I don't disagree with that either. I'm guessing he's probably closer to 250.
Yeah, I mean, I can see where all of his velo comes from. I mean, he's got a lot of leverage
He's
on him.
huge, man.
Oh, yeah.
He's huge. And he doesn't like Danny P, man. He's got those Danny Big thighs. That's where his velo
hmm
comes from, those thighs, man. But
So I
Luke,
wonder,
Luke's
since,
not a like big dude that
hmm
way. He's just huge.
he's a he's a big dude.
Yeah, absolutely.
I wonder if it's honestly, I wouldn't know this because I'm short. I wonder if it's harder to locate the strike zone with arms that long, though. I have no. Paul Skeens seems to do it just fine.
Paul's not that tall, is he?
Oh, I'm sure Paul's like 6'6".
Is he?
Oh yeah, Paul Skeens a big dude. He's like same height as Josh Allen. Let's see.
Who's Josh Allen?
Don't know.
Never heard of the guy. 6'6". Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, he's a pretty tall dude.
He's 6'6" and 260. There's no way Luke Little is 220.
Right, that's what I'm saying. There's no way.
Absolutely not. I don't disagree. Justin Steele. Obviously, he's now cleared. Everybody in Cubs world is stoked about this guy, right?
Right.
What should the Cubs do? How quickly should he come back? And how quickly do you think he will adjust from Tommy John surgery and become an impact arm?
I think he'll be pretty good once he comes back.
Right away?
I think so. I'd bring him back sometime in May though, early May. I think that'd be a good time to bring him in. I mean, he got cleared what, a month ago?
Not quite. Couple weeks still. Maybe 3.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
think May would be a good time to start him.
I hope they don't start him until late May, early June.
Yeah.
I just want it to
You
be.
know he's going to be itching to get out there.
But he
He already
seems like if
is.
you listen to him in the interviews, he seems on board with that timeline because he
hmm
really wants to make sure that he's pitching at his best and he's still strong in October. You know what I mean? Like these guys have plans
hmm
to pitch in October and play in October. Their goals are not just hey, we're making the playoffs. They expect to make the playoffs and they expect to be a team to reckon with in the playoffs. So I think that's why he's so on board with that.
hmm
And I love that he's putting the team first. You know what I mean? That doesn't surprise me. Listening to him and everything and watching the guy, that doesn't surprise me one bit. Like that's the kind of guy that Justin Steele is. He's one of my favorites on the team.
I love a great leader too.
Yes,
He's exactly what we were missing last year.
for sure. I mean, we missed Cade for sure as well, and a healthy Shota, but Justice Steele would have made
hmm
a huge difference. As like
I don't think
for
he was
sure,
at the games though either. Like he wasn't there
he
to
was off
be
and
the
on,
leader.
but he was off and on. But a lot of times he was still down. He was down in Arizona rehabbing, and I think
Yeah,
that's paid
like
off quite a
imagine if
bit
he saw
because he came
the
back
play
so
where Kyle
quick.
Tucker didn't run.
Right?
Imagine if Justin Steele was there.
He's one of those. He's a little bit more fiery than a lot of the other leaders on the team. He
hmm
and Pete are the fiery guys. I bet Bregman can be a
I
little
don't think
fiery.
Pete comes any close to fiery to compared to Justin Steele though.
Oh, yeah.
Pete's
Pete's
a
way
chill
more
guy.
fiery.
Well, to himself.
Okay, good point.
He
Well,
takes accountability
there's
to
a difference
himself.
with that.
Justin
Yes.
Steele, yeah, Justin Steele doesn't care. He's gonna put everybody in their place and tell them what
I
they did wrong.
think Bregman is probably a little more fiery, then he probably leads on too.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the two of them being day in and day out on this team is going to make a difference with that too. You know what I mean?
Right.
Nico, I think, is a really good leader. He's just more even keeled, a lot like Craig Counsell, and I think that there's something to having a fiery guy at times as well. And they balance. Like Nico can help balance all that with those guys too. You know what I mean? And Ian's
Mm-hmm.
in that as well. I don't think that, and from everything I've heard about and listened to him talk about and others, he doesn't speak up much. You know what I mean? Ian, he just doesn't. He leads by example. That's the way he does it. And I think Nico tries to do that for the most part too, but he'll speak up quicker than Ian will. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I think JMO is probably a lot that way too. JMO's pretty respected in
Oh,
the clubhouse. And understandably. The dude, he's just a workhorse. Like he's a throwback workhorse type guy. You know what I mean? I hope that he gets these homer things figured out. Because
which it seems like he might have.
yeah, he pitched well for Team Canada, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
So, nothing. I love JMO. I hope that he doesn't make another start in the World Baseball Classic and he's back with Chicago soon because that'll mean they lost tonight and Team USA won. So, we love you, JMO. Nothing against you. We just want you to lose tonight. Sorry, buddy. Last but not least, Andre Dawson had come out and said that he did not want to have a Dawson or an Expo cap on his bust in the Hall of Fame. He wants it to be a Cub bust or cap on there. The Hall of Fame has taken the cap off. He has no cap now. So they kind of granted him his wish, but kind of not. You know what I mean? The Hall of Fame is who makes these decisions, not the players, which I think is a bit interesting, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's normally generated by how many years you play with a team. Dawson was good with the Expos. He was never great with the Expos. I wouldn't say. Like, top 5 MVP voting. Should Dawson have won the MVP in 87? There's debate, legit debate to be made for that. Because he was on a last place team. But the dude had an amazing year, far better than almost anybody else. Better than anybody else in the National League. I get it, it didn't translate to wins, but he still had an amazing individual season
Mm-hmm.
that year. And is an MVP. So, whether you agree that he should have been the MVP that year or not, he was. And that's on his resume. And it happened when he was with the Cubs. And he never came close to winning an MVP when he was with the Expos. Or any other team. So, I get why he wants to wear the Cubs cap for that. And I think he will consider himself a Cubs Hall of Fame, like a Hall of Famer as a Chicago Cub. I don't think that's ever going to change, but at least they gave him no cap if he didn't want it to be the Expos. You know what I mean?
That's so weird. Like,
Do you think it should be as a Cub, though? I think so.
I
I
mean,
would
it
love
should
that.
be what,
What, especially if you play so many years at that place. It's not like he played 2-3 years
Right.
there. He played over
Right.
5 seasons, or at least 5. Pretty sure it was 6.
I don't know. I mean, like, the man got himself there. Let the man pick what team he wants to represent.
It's
You
kind of
know?
weird. It's weird.
I'm gonna have to take a trip to New York.
Go get him,
I'm
buddy.
gonna have to throw a fit about it. Yeah, I'm
We,
gonna have to go to
I do
Cooperstown.
want
I
to.
think that's where it's at.
Cooperstown. I do want to go there. Just,
I do too.
like I want to go there. We should do that.
We should.
We should talk to your brother and your dad. We should go
I
for
agree.
sure.
I'll be so down to go there.
It'd be a blast. And really, Canton, Ohio is on the way, kind of. That's where the
Mm-hmm.
NFL Hall of Fame is. Just saying. Can make a couple day trip.
I wanna go out to the Field of Dreams too. I mean, they're our neighbors pretty much, Iowa, so
That'd be
could
a lot of
just make
fun,
a trip out there too. Like that can be a weekend thing.
right? I mean, really, the Hall of Fame could be too.
Mm-hmm.
It had to be a longer weekend,
Yeah,
like
it
a
takes
Friday, Saturday,
probably
Sunday at
yeah.
least. I'd like to be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That'd be cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You talk to your dad because you're going to be better at getting him to give up a couple days than I will. It'd
Alrighty.
be a lot of fun. But I digress. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you leave some comments for us. We would love that. And we'll talk to y'all later. Go Cubs, go.
Go Cubbies.